Hello everyone, welcome back to In Bed with a Nerd. So today I'm going to be talking about world hunger and potential food shortages. So obviously we get lots of doom and gloom type stories in various media that you may come across on the internet. So it got me thinking, okay, if I had to feed the world, how would I go about doing it? Now, I have a little bit of experience with hydroponic farming. Last year I decided to set up my grandfather's what was retired hydroponic farm and grow some lettuces, herbs and vegetables for myself and teach myself a practical skill because I like all things electronic, but I really couldn't do a huge amount of activities that would be at all productive if shit hit the fan and we had an apocalypse. So lettuces and herbs are all well and good, loads of nutritive benefits. You can grow different medicines, like basil for example is antifungal, has loads of antioxidants, etc., which is really good. But the things that tend to be grown hydroponically are things like cucumbers, tomatoes, squash. They're all very amenable to using a hydroponic growth medium, but they don't have a lot of calories. Now, in today's modern age where everyone's overweight, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But I mean, if the global supply chain for food was to be shut down and we were no longer able to export things like grains, rice, potatoes, etc., we'd have a food shortage on our hands and people would be looking for a source of calories. Otherwise, we'd have very little energy, we'd fade away to nothing, and civilization as we know it would fall apart. So I started looking into what carbohydrate sources can actually be grown quite well hydroponically, and I was surprised with some of the things that I found. Now, the one that obviously, to me, is going to work the best is the potato. You can actually grow potatoes hydroponically, which is pretty wild. They had them using this little bucket with like a net sitting in it, and they were growing the potatoes inside the bucket with the right drainage and nutrients. They were getting really big yields with very minimal amounts of space. So that to me makes the most sense because potatoes contain the complete array of essential amino acids, proteins, so you can build your body. They're loaded with minerals and they're filling. Not to mention they're a pretty dense source of calories. So for me, if I was going to set up a food production facility, I'd find a way to grow potatoes en masse to feed a starving population. I mean, we all know how well that worked for the Irish, so good times. Surprisingly, also, I learned that you could actually grow bananas hydroponically, albeit that takes a fair bit more space, and they were sitting in these massive pots, and they had these trees growing out of big bags of sand. They looked a bit ridiculous, so probably not the ideal thing to grow hydroponically. But then you could also grow things like grapes, which obviously grapes are quite rich in sugar, and that would be a potential source for carbohydrates. You could make hydroponic wine that way, another potential use of hydroponics, which I thought was quite interesting. And yeah, like various fruits, berries were quite amenable. Strawberries, blackberries and blueberries were grown hydroponically quite successfully, but still they didn't have the carbohydrate and energy content of potatoes. So for me, the clear winner for food source of calories come the apocalypse, should we need to grow something, would be potatoes. So yes, that's the winner. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed my little rant, and if you've learnt something from this, please share it and tell your friends about it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope that you are all well. And yeah, if you've got any comments, please leave them below. Thanks a lot. Bye.